It's good.
Here we are.
Grateful.
Hang tight, sir. He was waiting to get the key to open the car.
Okay. I'm grateful to y'all, all the people who prayed, and all the people who texted, all the people who had prayer vigils, all the people who were concerned and sent love.
Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up.
Dallas Bishop T.D. Jakes has finally broken his silence about the circulating reports of his attendance at Diddy's legendary parties. Allegedly, the popular preacher is now considering legal action against anyone seeking to expose him. Reports say that T.D. Jakes is the third high-profile individual, after Jay-Z and Beyonce, to seek to quiet victims of Diddy's alleged misbehavior. This discovery has raised doubts regarding what T.D. Jakes was doing at these events, and what the putative victim is now stating about his participation. The story continues to grow, prompting many to question about the ties between these influential people and the claims involving Diddy.
With notes. Just grateful. Thank you. Didn't have to turn out this way. Just grateful. Not afraid to die. Don't want to hurt my kids. The people who love me, the church who raised me, the world who called me, the God who sent me. Sometimes you just gotta be grateful.
On November 25th, Bishop T.D. Jakes filed a defamation case against fellow pastor Dwayne Youngblood. Youngblood had accused Jakes of trying to sexually attack him when he was barely 18 years old, and alleged that Jakes even attempted to violate him during a church service. Youngblood apparently offered witnesses and phone records to corroborate his astounding charges, which left many in astonishment. Since these charges appeared, Bishop Jakes has also been identified in a case tied to Diddy and was even cited by comedian Cat Williams.
Home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it, and they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had, and for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father, we talking about these scenarios, and I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it. Someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. And I got up from the table, he got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not, I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne.
Jakes was originally identified as an accomplice to Diddy in Lil Rod's lawsuit when it was said that Diddy utilized Jakes' religious influence to polish his public image. According to the accusations, T.D. Jakes allegedly helped Diddy obtain access to new victims and utilized his position as the head of the Potter's House to assist in restoring Diddy's image. While Bishop Jakes has denied any wrongdoing, he has stayed unusually quiet regarding his claimed presence at Diddy's famed parties, further feeding rumors about his involvement.
World-renowned Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit.
Ventura, a former girlfriend of Combs, filed a complaint in November. Meanwhile, Combs' lawyer is blasting the searches at two of the hip-hop mogul's houses.
Meanwhile, Combs' lawyer is criticizing the raids at two of the hip-hop mogul's homes in a federal sex trafficking investigation. He called them an unprecedented ambush. It comes as we're getting a new look inside Combs' L.A. house after the search by federal agents. Carter Evans has details about what the feds have uncovered so far.
Guns, cell phones, and other electronics are among the items taken from the homes of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs.
Interestingly, multiple witnesses have allegedly claimed to have seen Bishop T.D. Jakes at Diddy's famed all-white parties and other contentious events. One of these witnesses, Gandil, purportedly acknowledged recognizing Jakes at these parties and voiced astonishment over why a famous religious leader would interact with someone like Diddy. Gandil has previously suggested to pastors being tied to Diddy's clique.
People know how certain people act after one drink, two drinks. And if those girls was drinking out those bottles that he said Diddy laced, and he could show on camera, and he could show that some people had passed out, or some people were acting a certain way after they had those drinks, he won his case on that one.
When you was around Diddy, was he doing drugs, like party drugs, like ecstasy and stuff like that?
Diddy wasn't the dude he is today when I was around him. You understand? He had started.
According to Deal, Diddy originally refrained from smoking cannabis, taking cocaine, or ingesting other narcotics, but he would make these drugs accessible for others, including some of his girlfriends who loved them. Deal said that Diddy started experimenting with and ultimately got addicted on narcotics following Deal's departure, signifying a change in his lifestyle and conduct. That's why T.D. Jakes was there, to attempt to repair his image. Ain't no money like church money. Diddy, who has developed a billion-dollar commercial empire, is known to emphasize his public image above everything else. As part of his attempts to preserve a positive image, he allegedly contributed millions of dollars to Pastor T.D. Jakes' megachurch. In exchange, Jakes reportedly played a crucial part in improving Diddy's public profile. However, after being listed in the case against Diddy, Jakes has endured great stress, even allegedly coming near to having a heart attack while on stage. Sources close to Jakes claim that he is very anxious about becoming caught in a legal crisis tied to Diddy and is trying to protect any bad information from coming to light.
After he got hooked on those painkillers, he started drinking more, because he wouldn't even drink hard liquor. He was only drinking champagne, Don P or Cristal. He was not drinking hard liquor then.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. And he also claims that, Diddy, he was using T.D. Jakes to fix his image. You believe that?
Well, we saw that to be true anyway. That's what he was trying to do all that time. That's why T.D. Jakes was there, to try to fix his image. Ain't no money like church money.
So I want to get right into it, man. How you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes?
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he there to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he there to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere. So now what he's doing is he's making, man, he making the Christians look real bad right about now.
And you've been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah, I was there when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards. So I know what goes on at the parties. If, you know, they probably got a little bit more freakier, you know, as time went on, you know, because they got to the point whereas that they didn't even care. It used to be secretly, you know, where people used to go to.
In a sudden change of events, Diddy finds himself in a judicial fight when TD Jakes supposedly provides key data regarding his role in the current legal battle. The tension is evident as turmoil erupts in the courtroom, with Diddy losing his control. Stay in as we go into the shocking facts of this courtroom clash.
You know, separate rooms and different rooms, and they wasn't doing that out in the public. You know, so, but now they don't care. Men kissing men and all this other that's crazy.
So why do you think he was going to these parties?
I think that he's going to the Diddy parties, you know. Bruh. If he's going, well, we know he's going to the Diddy parties, and I know that it's, I know what usually happens at the Diddy party, or what we told us happened at the Diddy parties. Maybe he need to see it for himself, man. Maybe he need to go there and really be involved in some things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties. Or maybe he just going to, man, it's hard to even talk about why would you find a religious man, you know, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners, and why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties. It's hard, brother. Bruh, you know, you can't, I really don't know why.
Why did you believe in these cases, and why didn't you believe in others that you were presented with?
Well, the thing with a sexual abuser is they follow a pattern. They fall to type, and you become very clear on what that pattern is, particularly a serial abuser. And these cases were all identical in the facts, identical in the story. It was beginning, middle, conclusion.
They know each other?
Boom. None of them knew each other.
Did you have them meet?
No.
Did you have them coordinate stories?
No, no.
Do you think they had any contact with each other before they came to you?
Absolutely not.
And when you were talking to them, well, first, the ones that you didn't take, why not?
Stories didn't make sense. Stories didn't fit the pattern. Stories were not credible. I mean, this is my 30th year as a lawyer. I've tried over 100 cases. I can assess whether somebody's story is credible. And if I don't believe it, I'm not going to put my name on a pleading, sign it, and file it in court. The victim, it has nothing to do with it. And so I think it's important. I think it's important to get the word out. I think it's important for men to feel, hey, look, I can come out and be heard just like a woman could.
And the defense that, look, they knew what they were getting into. These are regrets. They went there, they partied, and now they see a pocket.
No, I don't think so. One, my client
Were
was...
they gay men?
One was... the other ones were not. And they were going there. The client was actually worked for Diddy. Diddy owed him money for doing errands for him and being his step and fetch, for lack of a better word. And I think it was a power move. It was a clear power move because this guy had the nerve to come to him and say, you owe me money. And so Diddy said, come on to the Intercontinental Hotel. He gives him the drug, knocks him out, sodomizes him. And I won't use the term that my client used, but I will He said he tried to turn me into his B word. And I think it was a clear power move on each and every occasion. I think the ones that took place in the Park Hyatt, that wasn't partying. My client met him at a nightclub in the city here with a music producer. He didn't think he was getting into that. The man who was in the Hamptons, he thought he was going to a white party. Who wouldn't want to go to a white party? I would have gone to a white party back in the day. I wouldn't go now. But they went there innocently, and this is what happened.
In the discussion, the lawyer explains why they did not take certain cases, stating that the stories presented were inconsistent, lacked credibility, and did not fit the pattern of the allegations. With 30 years of experience and over 100 cases tried, the lawyer confidently asserts their ability to assess the credibility of a story. They emphasize that if they did not believe a case, they would not risk putting their name on it, filing it in court, or associating with it. This is the reason they rejected over 60 cases related to the matter.
Anybody came out defending Diddy. All these celebrity friends he have, and nobody came out.
They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and the girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor.
He thought it was going to a white party. Who wouldn't want to go to a white party? I would have gone to a white party back in the day. I wouldn't go now. But they went there innocently, and this is what happened. There are growing theories that TD Jakes might just be another pawn in Diddy's elaborate web of control. Allegedly, Diddy would invite celebrities and powerful figures to his parties, drug them, and film them in compromising situations. Once he had this footage, he would use it as leverage to blackmail and manipulate his targets. It's possible that TD Jakes, like others, found himself under Diddy's control due to the incriminating material the mogul had on him. Further deepening the mystery surrounding their relationship, anybody came out defending Diddy, all these celebrity friends he have, and nobody came out. They brand. It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie with the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know did nobody in America like that. So now these people are represented by a brand, whether it's something about the music, clothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they're not on the tape, doing crazy stuff, being all duped in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here, we got you on, hey, buddy, we got you on this tape. And the girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not going to show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're going to start talking. That's when they're going to start talking, and they're not going to be talking in his favor.